Originally imagined as a short piece, but like everything else on the farm, it grew. In the early spring light of 2008, the farm was still more intention than certainty. The old red barn watched over us like a patient elder while we laid out the first raised beds, board by board, square by square. The soil was dark, new, and full of promise, hauled, sifted, and shaped by hand. Every row was a step toward feeding our community, one seedling at a time. Looking back, it wasn't just a garden we were building. It was the beginning of a way of living, quiet, honest, and rooted in the belief that good food can change a place, and the people who grow it. These first CSA beds were built in 2008 using found lumber from the old barn. Each one was double dug using the French intensive method to maximize soil depth, aeration, and early season productivity. It was a simple, resourceful start, but it gave us the foundation we needed. Before the frames were installed, we formed the initial French intensive mounds by hand. Each bed was dug twice, amended and shaped to improve drainage and root penetration. This was the core of our early CSA system. Small scale, efficient, and built entirely with the materials and labor we had on hand. Before the field was ready, we started all our transplants on the deck overlooking the river. Trays of tomatoes, greens, and early starts were hardened off here each morning, giving us a steady supply of healthy seedlings for the French intensive beds. As seedlings grew, we moved the strongest starts into individual pots and set them out on the deck each day to harden off in natural light and breeze. This step gave us sturdier transplants for the double-dug beds and helped stagger planting across the CSA rows. These were some of the very first transplants to go into the double-dug French intensive mounds, basil, purple basil, and early start spaced closely for high-yield production. A simple row cover frame was set up nearby to protect tender plants while we worked through the spring plantings. By late April, the French intensive beds were already producing. Lettuce, carrots, and snap peas were interplanted in tight rows to maximize space and maintain continuous harvest. This mixed crop layout was a core part of our CSA approach. High diversity, close spacing, and steady succession planting. By early June, the French intensive mounds were fully planted and mulched. Straw was added between rows to conserve moisture and reduce weed pressure as peppers, tomatoes, and summer crops began to take hold. By early June, the beds were fully established. Corn, chard, potatoes, and mixed greens were growing alongside trellised crops and hoop-covered rows. This stage marked the transition from spring plantings to steady early summer production across the French intensive layout. By late July, the CSA reached peak summer density. Tomatoes, squash, flowers, and mixed vegetables filled the raised beds, with straw mulch helping manage moisture through the dry season. The hoop frames remained in place for shade cloth and pest protection as needed. Tomatoes, squash, and mixed vegetables filled the hoop-supported beds, with straw mulch helping control heat and moisture during the driest part of the season. This early June view shows the CSA in full development, corn, greens, and early summer crops growing in the French intensive rows. The barn and trellis structures anchored the layout, giving us space for tools, irrigation storage, and daily field work. By mid-July, the hoop-supported beds were packed with summer crops, beans, tomatoes, squash, and flowers all pushing strong growth. Straw paths helped keep the field workable during the hottest part of the season. The mixed plantings near the fruit trees were in full production by mid-July. Squash, sunflowers, herbs, and volunteer starts shared space with perennials, illustrating the diversity we maintained throughout the CSA layout. This view shows the CSA at peak midsummer diversity. Greens, herbs, tomatoes, squash, and sunflowers growing side by side. The French intensive beds were designed for continuous harvest, with new plantings tucked in wherever space opened. Earth Crew continues to build on these lessons by supporting soil health at scale through organic amendments, mineral nutrition, and biologically driven inputs designed to improve soil function, crop performance, and long-term land stewardship.